FORTNITE on Twitter. Okay, got a little stumbled up there. It's okay. My name is Taylor Noble Reflections_I, by the way, guys. Joining me on the couch is Lando Sanders. You've been holding that post for quite some time. Legion, how you guys feeling? What's going on?
I'm feeling phenomenal.
I'm feeling phenomenal.
I can tell that you are.
How are you feeling?
I'm feeling excellent because I drank half your G Fuel shaker while we were away.
Did you?
He actually did.
Oh no.
He actually chugged the entire.
But it was like a waterfall, so you don't have to worry about me.
You didn't actually put your mouth on it?
I chugged the chug jug, threw up the chug jug, and then drank your G Fuel. So
that is solid.
It was like
work,
a hybrid. Yeah, it was pretty good.
Cheers to you, bud.
Cheers to you.
Cheers to everybody else. All right, we're good.
Yeah, please don't do that. That is not actual.
How do you know?
Tears.
Well, you know what we should do? We need to find some blue flavor of G Fuel and actually put it in here. Can we do that?
I mean, can I chug it though? Do you think when they chug it, if this was real life, that it would just fall all over their face though? So they're actually only getting like 90% of their
shield? It is kind of sloppy,
shield?
the position that they hold it above their head like this. Like, surely that spills over their shirt.
You gotta have a big mouth opening for that, honestly.
Yeah. Big mouth opening?
Like,
that's a lot of juice.
Realistically, regarding like how sloppy it probably is when they drink this, they're probably only getting like 46 to 45% of the shield.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking you're not even getting your full 50. But with that being said, who's excited for the next match?
I'm excited. Hey, come on. Look at what we have going on here. Aimbotcalvin, King Richard, Ninja, and Optic Courage. I'm proud, by the way, of King Richard for finally making it this far. He's been struggling throughout these tournaments, but he's been hugely positive. He's been putting his, at least our streams whenever he gets eliminated on there, and he's saying he loves Friday Fortnites, and it comes to show the passion is coming through, and the fact that he's performing so well with Aimbotcalvin, and Aimbotcalvin's doing well himself.
Monster.
They're late as F.
There's people going Anarchy?
I think we go Pleasant here.
Right after? Okay.
Rivalry, but there is a little bit of pride that probably comes into these matches and whatnot as far as, you know, who can kind of have that advantage. But here we go. Game one, Taylor. Go on the outskirts, and I guess it's a little bit surprising to see that we don't see them maybe go toward a typical landing spot, but I guess when Lucky Landing isn't necessarily available or in the limelight, Ninja and Courage need to switch things up.
As you say that, we are seeing some more kills go down for Aimbotcalvin. He's going to go ahead and thirst that player. That's going to put him at 2-1 for King Richard. That's a total of 3. Looking solid so far in terms of this tilted push. Of course, it's that early game. Now they've got a solid hold on tilted, and they're just going to keep mowing players down. Showing tilted may be a proper push for them, which I've got to respect. In the past, we've seen King Richard, right? He loves to push those other areas, such as Fatal. That in our earlier tournaments, Fatal was kind of his zone to go to, right? But now I like the fact that he's getting more confident in his gameplay, and he's starting to hit these highly populated areas. At least, after all, he is on Team Envy. He's the captain, after all. He's got huge potential to go big in this game.
Now, do you think the rotation here from Ninja and Courage being so far away, they're finally coming into Pleasant, trying to get some engagements here. Ninja, though, being ahead of Courage here just a little bit, I'm kind of thinking, is this going to end up paying off for them to have waited for so long? Because there is still almost half the lobby left. Or is the fact that Calvin and Richard were so aggressive actually going to have benefited them? And it seems like with the current lead that they have, and these 2 pieces these gentlemen are getting with these shotguns, might have been a smart decision here. Don't reverse psychology me again, Landon.
It looks like
I'm not saying a word.
Good stuff. He manages to pick him off, and of course, that's not an instant kill, as another player is going to be pushing. But man, it's great stuff. How many kills? Oh, who drops? That's Aimbotcalvin going down. King Richard will be able to pick him up, but he's relatively low on health himself, and they both don't really have any meds. I mean, we do have 10 bandages in his back pocket. Can't see how many minis.
There's a med kit up there actually on Calvin's screen.
But watch this situation. Courage is about to go down, and he ends up getting taken out. It looks like Ninja this time has to go big for the opposite side. Of course, we see King Richard stay alive to res the teammate. And now in this situation here, it looks like it's going to be the exact same situation on the opposite end coming in from Ninja. But I really want to point out what we've seen in the beginning of our tournaments, a typical landing spot from one of our teams was actually FaZe. And one spot they loved to go to was around the Junk Junction area, get kitted up, and then make the late rotation over toward Pleasant Park. Ninja has been playing against FaZe in countless tournaments, back-to-back-to-back tournaments. He's faced off against the FaZe boys, whether or not it's gone his way, you know, in different moments, his obviously remains to be seen. He faced off against them, I believe, in week 3 it was, of our Friday Fortnite tournaments where he actually lost in the grand finals, where FaZe came through the losers bracket as well. So in that situation, he probably learned a lot of info about where FaZe or like where a lot of, you know, high profile teams like to go. So in that situation, I think what we see coming through from Ninja and from you know, along with Jack as well is the fact you're pulling up that same strat. I think it was a little bit early. Normally FaZe waits around the kind of 70-60 margin to kind of go for those rushes, but still you see the strategy working out for Ninja Ninja and King Richard. Obviously, for both of our squads, it's been a little bit close, but they are still alive for now.
Absolutely. Just scouting out what's happening here. 9-4. Good, sizable lead for Aimbot and King Richard, showing that obviously the strategy is, in fact, working for them. And that's a huge lead against such a powerful team such as Ninja and Courage, but still a lot of engagements remaining and still remaining until today. See some players dropping in front, but look at the aim from Aimbotcalvin.
Again.
It's called Aimbot for a reason, right?
Yeah,
100% living up to the name.
Calvin's just an absolute beast. I mean, King
That's
Richard
actually scary.
got very lucky with this tilted drop, though. The fact that it was basically a full normal lobby drop for tilted, extremely advantageous for them in terms of who they're engaging with. And then, of course, there was a team coming from the shifty area, which then feeds them even more kills, 10-5. Courage and Ninja doing their best, though, with their engagements, winning all of them. It just doesn't seem like there's a large enough population of players they're running into. But, of course, we're finally going to see another team engagement from Courage and Ninja, although Calvin and King Richard up, I believe, about 4 or 5 kills still. So,
All right,
Oh,
20,000 YouTuber tournament. Let's get it.
Quick little ad there for everybody at home in case you know what you're watching.
subliminal messaging. Shout out to Sprite. Back at it.
Good stuff. All right. I like it. I like the production. It's good. Now, hey, serious work back there. Great stuff. Hey, it's only a two-man team back there, and they're totally running this entire tournament.
15 to 20 screens to be managing, I believe. For
Literally
2 people.
15
So
screens
shout
back there,
out to production.
Actually, I
for
think there's
absolutely
18
slaying it.
screens. Believe it or
18.
not.
My brain would just explode, and I would start crying and request help. So shout out to those guys tonight, and of course, Calvin and Richard, guys. 13 kills combined, 9 for Ninja and Courage, still 24 players remaining. I'm so nervous. I haven't been this nervous in a long time. I just want to see who's going to win.
You sound like a concerned mother, and of course, as you are, well, maybe well, I don't know. Courage, you say, is your son.
I'm a proud mother right now
That's what I was
that he's
going
made it this far into the tournament.
wow.
I want everyone to know. As adopted father,
Huh?
he adopted me.
I'm so confused with the storyline now.
It's
This-
a weird. The storyline just keeps getting deeper and deeper. It's a lot like a
Fan
Days of Our Lives
fiction.
Is there an
episode.
audiobook potentially? That's
Oh,
and I
absolutely.
will
I'm-
voice over
yeah,
it.
and
Let's
he's
do
gonna
it.
voice-
Yeah.
If you
That'd
guys
be
don't know,
great.
I do some audiobook production. So if you want to write that book, fan fiction, I am down to commentate that.
I'm sure that the lore itself has already interested me enough as far as the history that you have.
absolutely.
Throw in Larry the bus driver too. Hey, we got a full
yeah.
story.
Yeah,
Larry the
that's-
bus driver was actually the great grandfather, but I wasn't able to tell him.
Oh,
So
no.
yeah, it's a very, very deep storyline involved there. But Calvin and Richard finding some more players, but it just seems like everybody that they're running into just absolutely ruining their birthday parties. This isn't the first time we've seen it. They came in with a kazoo, outplayed the birthday kid, and now they're just dominating everybody in this matchup, Landon.
They are indeed, my friend. That was a great transition you just made. I'm not going to lie. I totally just ruined it, but I had to give you the props for it. But as we actually take a look quickly at Ninja's screen, of course, trying to make it to the top of the mansion here of Loot Lake. Of course, the King of Twitch does deserve a rightful crown, and this is a nice spot to be in. Of course, has the hunting rifle from the long range, narrowly misses that shot. But if we know anything from Twitter clips, from YouTube videos, this man does not miss shots like that very often.
I know. And if you guys want to see previous or future Twitch clips on Twitter, go to UMG Events on Twitter and check them all out. We have a full team that has been getting the clips from these tournaments from various streams. You got to check them out. Great stuff coming from them, but still a close game at this point. I'm really happy with how close this is. Of course, we laid down the storyline with Ninja and King Richard being previous teammates. We have only how many engagements remaining? We have 17 engagements remaining total. Still an extremely close game. Overall score, though, King Richard, Aimbotcalvin still leading the way, showing Tilted was the way to go, and I am proud of them for coming out. But still, they haven't ventured too far out from Tilted, which is quite surprising.
And I want to point out, yes, I absolutely was wrong, and I am not going to take anything away from that. However, I will counter that with saying it is very risky that they have gone Tilted back-to-back times and have really kind of escaped unscathed rather than just kind of one drop. So I absolutely was wrong. It was a fantastic strategy coming out from them. Want to kind of credit them from that strategy. I will say, though, I think that's a very risky call. And to me, it's just, from our tournaments in past, man, it's just such a, it almost never works out. And so the fact that we see the same team and back-to-back times where they don't necessarily have the best track record for, kind of living toward the end of the game, all the props to them for staying alive because they have been playing masterful FORTNITE so far.
I think one of the strategies that I really love from Ninja is the fact that he goes Loot Lake directly. Most of the time, I consider that kind of like a
that's
suicide pit. If you jump in there, there's a really good chance you're going to be getting bombarded by multiple teams. But as you know, this entire tournament is based off kills. So put yourself in a position where you're being surrounded by players. If you're me, you're dying. If you know how to build in that water like Ninja does, you're dominating. And we've seen him do it literally 3 times we've been casting him. During today's tournament alone, I've seen him go directly into Loot Lake and build his way out. 16 kills for Aimbotcalvin and King Richard. Ninja and Courage now at 9. Still sticking around, but of course they're going to be building that lead up a little bit more and dropping a whole nother. Was that 4?
No,
that's 13 now.
Wow, yeah, that's huge for Ninja and Courage overall. Getting those kills, and I got to say, man, they're quickly catching up. But of course, it comes down to their route overall. And we're Landon, when you were touching on this, of course. The overall route that Ninja and Courage took were totally different than Aimbotcalvin and King Richard. Coming out, and wherever they landed just out in the bum Egypt. Really, no one knew where they were currently at, but they landed out there, and that's an interesting strategy, something we haven't seen. Last week, it was all about just outside of Fatal, coming into Salty, and now we're seeing these random drops. Literally, that's what I say every time. Literally, strategies are developing week by week by week, and it's very refreshing.
It absolutely is. And like I said, I think a lot of our players or teams rather, are learning strats from other teams as well that they face off against. We've been seeing a lot more squads kind of going towards Salty. We've been seeing, Vicstar and Tenny's strategy kind of get utilized from a lot of other squads as well by going just outside of Salty Springs. So, I mean, there's been a lot of, little things that we've been seeing a lot of these squads start to develop over time. And like I said, it's refreshing to see. It's nice to see the infancy of competitive Fortnite being developed right in front of our eyes. But speaking of that, we do see Aimbotcalvin on our screen right now, up to 8 kills in this game. I got to say, as far as players who I've been absolutely impressed with, I got to watch him play last week, and he was already insane. But to see the level that he is at, I mean, he is living up to holding a title like that. When you have Aimbot in your name, you got to have a little bit of pride on your side. You got to show off from time to time to prove that you deserve to have that name. And he is absolutely living up to his title of being called Aimbotcalvin. But it looks like on the opposite end, quickly, King Richard happens to be involved in a fight as well. Storm at the backside, back to the blue rather, as he needs to desperately try and escape. I don't believe he has a jump pad to his name, and he's going to have to go on a full-on sprint while also watching his backside, places down the trap, and it looks like he will be taken down. Goodbye to King Richard. And of course, we continue to bring up the talking point onto Aimbotcalvin. The stress, the load of trying to carry this series starts to get even heavier.
Well, he definitely can do it. He's at 9 kills, and I was just wanting to refer back to that previous engagement he had where he just rushed to an open field. His building skills were absolutely crucial, but look at
look at all the spray paints down there. Like, what would they?
It almost seems intentional at this point, doesn't it?
Literally just joined somebody's graffiti session and said, "I'm going to ruin it. The paint on the walls with your blood," and that's exactly what happened here. As Galvin, though, still doing a great job of trying to get these kills. Of course, it's going to be in a team situation here with the squad approaching him. Just got the height advantage. Does drop down, though, and manages to get the cleanup here. 11 kills out of him. But Ninja trying to rally this comeback here for himself and Courage, who's going to be able to close this out to win this first game. And we've got a total of 4 players remaining in terms of engagements, and we still have a pink guitar floating around the top of the map just dominating.
And watch this play. I think Courage is actually going to drop in this situation. He has too many players around him, and yeah, he ends up getting taken down. That is a huge play where we see in back-to-back situations, it was this exact same spot. It was Ninja versus Vicstar. Ninja had the lead, and he carried it through. Now we see Aimbotcalvin facing off against Ninja as well. Back-to-back 1v1s. Can Ninja hold it out with only, 4 engagements left?
There's only 4 engagements currently going against Aimbotcalvin, who has almost matched what Ninja has and tries to get it. Going in with the Splodes, trying to bring down the base a little bit. Great defensive build. Now he knows he's got to take this high ground at this point. He's going to do just that. As a player is actually going to be up there waiting for him, but of course it's going to be Ninja. It's going to try and mow him down. Only 14 health remaining. He's got to go to the right, but of course he's got to challenge at this point. He knows there's only so many engagements remaining, and he gets the knock, and he's going for the finish. Phenomenal stuff on his part. Gets the elimination. Now we only see how many engagements left. Only 3 engagements, still taking damage from the side. However, he does go down, and this is going to give the opportunity for Calvin to come in and get 3 more kills to put him up at a total of 14 kills to continue to lead going into the second round.
And I know we didn't get to see it, but we actually saw in the little kill feed there, it says that Ninja is now spectating you. So that player who actually killed Ninja, Aimbotcalvin actually finishes off that player. So that's a big play coming in from Aimbotcalvin. But unfortunately, we talked about Ninja at the very beginning of the tournament, was utilizing those miniguns so effectively. And now, unfortunately, he ends up getting taken down by them as well. But of course, you see the scoreboard there, 21-18, kind of reflecting quickly back on the minigun. Right, we saw I think it was a 10% increase as far as the ADSing and whatnot to make it a little bit more accurate. So yeah, I mean, guns like that we can start to see it be a little bit more viable, and kind of going back toward even speaking on the talking point of Ninja as well, is the factor of him kind of going back even since the very first Fortnite tournament at Ninja Vegas when he was discussing the factor of how quickly and how easy it is to kind of take down structures. You have an improved minigun. Granted, it's difficult to use up close, but from those long ranges, someone's got to take down some of those forts from time to time.
And as we've seen from him the whole day, I mean, very first match that we casted, he brings a minigun out, absolutely crushes with it. But you can see, especially Ninja's face right after that death, you know, you're down by 3. Now you give him the opportunity in a potential 1v3 or however many. There's 3 players alive engagement-wise. I mean, this is a 6-kill lead that could have been potentially a lead for Ninja.
Yeah.
So that's a rough situation to be in going into game 2. But if anybody's going to do it, I mean, we've got Calvin and Ninja, which I think right now have been the strongest players I've seen in the entire tournament so far, at least individually speaking.
Oh, for sure. I think that's definitely fair to say.
And I got to say, now I see the reason why he's at the top of this hill to get the center of the zone thing for his battle pass. This is what it all came down to. Now it makes sense because he just so happens to get it on top of the hill. But all jokes aside, hey, he's got a great advantage point at this point. Not seeing anybody just yet, but also he doesn't have the sniper, but he still has that scar in his back pocket. He's kind of vulnerable at this hill, but I think he's trying to bait out those shots.
I think he definitely is as well. And
No
way. And it's a little bit scary, too, the fact that he doesn't see too many enemies. That's most likely a case that they could be teaming and they all could be together. So that's one thing he's probably thinking in the back of his mind right now is, hey, okay, where are the enemies at? If they're not, if I don't see random guys kind of coming around corners and whatnot, it's safe to assume those are either good players or players who happen to be all on the same team.
And you could see here, he's looking around to see if there's going to be any of those stragglers. It seems like the old-fashioned video game timing where you turn your back for 2 seconds to focus on somebody, and then boom, the snake rolls in and hits you from behind here. So it looks like he's going to get a player to at least shoot down the build. It might have actually seen him drop that trap if it's the same team that's at least across the map here. This little battle royale they're literally having over a canyon, which is great. It's a little scenic view whenever you're shooting at each other. A very fantastic way to basically end your Friday night, I would say.
I almost think this is 2 separate teams that he'll have to be going against. Of course, there's only 3. I think it might be an individual player and then another team. We'll see if this guy instant drops, but this is a bold push with the jetpack coming down. That opponent probably not ready for him and gets the knock. So, of course, there is still going to be teammates remaining. Of course, that's still another one in his back pocket to extend the lead to 4.
Pass up the gold scar. I don't think he saw it.
I think at this point he's just locked in. Knows where.
Wow! Someone took over his own base. And I believe up there is rockets along with a chug jug. So that's a little bit of a worrisome situation to where that guy can easily just grab quite a bit of your loot. And one thing that he was doing in a fantastic way was kind of utilizing the rockets, puts the rockets away because it's obviously right next to him as a drop weapon, and kind of goes, for the double pump. So in that situation, he leaves the rockets, leaves the chug jug, and says, hey, I'm going to go quickly and try to double pump this enemy. But in the situation here, he's lost the height advantage. He is obviously now with 2 players in front of him. Are they teaming? Are they as a squad? Or is he all alone? It looks like we'll find out here. Is this player going to get dropped or not? Obviously, realize that there's one from the backside. I believe these are 2 separate players, not exactly on the same team. So, yeah, I believe that guy did have the minigun. He ends up getting taken down. And now in this situation, if you're Calvin, you have at least an idea as to what the kit is looking like for this player. You know, or at least have an idea as to where he is. But if you're this player, you got to be super aware. Okay, Calvin just took out this one guy. He's got to be roaming around me somewhere. Be looking for the build and be ready to utilize those rockets.
Absolutely. Here comes the lone climb. Almost got that battle pass for center of the circle. Will he be able to get it? That's the true storyline here. Now, all jokes aside, this is a big climb up the hill. Luckily, he does have that jetpack in his back pocket. Got plenty of fuel. Of course, that player is going to stay up there. No reason for that player to move at this point. And he is slowly making his way up. Great building so far. Pushing up. Will he be able to get to the top? Yes, he can. And now the action is about to go down. The player is going to be just below him, building up. There he is. He sees him. Can he easily? It looks like he'll easily be able to get this. Of
the
course,
Falcon.
down.
Taylor, the Falcon. Will it come out again?
Nice.
And it does. It's a bird-to-bird aerial combat. We just actually watched
Look at that dance.
a Pilot Wings gameplay
What dance is that?
in Fortnite there with the ooh.
I haven't seen that dance before.
Maybe it's new.
Something new for me to buy. That's all I got to say.
That's for certain. That couldn't be a more
That is a
accurate
hype
statement.
dance. That is hype.
That is.
That is hype.
Every dance is hype, man.
What is it, a 6-kill lead going into the Oh, see him live in concert, mind you. Saw him live in concert.
Really?
Great performance. Great performance.
I know this got whiplash doing this like 3 times in
I
a
know.
row.
We broke your neck literally
hurts a
'cause
little
there's
bit.
so much
6
action going on in
kills.
the seats.
All right, so now, Landon, I
Yes,
just
sir.
want to trigger you a little bit. Do we see a tilted drop coming in? And if we do see a tilted drop, what are you thinking?
Okay.
6 kills up. Going tilted.
All right, so you're 6 kills up. There's no reason to go to tilted. I literally went through every possible scenario. I just pulled a Doctor Strange. 14 million scenarios. There's one reason why you should go to tilted, and that's if you want to die early. So do not.
Psycho.
There's no reason to
Be
go
a
to tilted
psycho.
towers. I don't see the likelihood of why this should be a thing. If they do go through tilted, they'll probably stay alive despite my prediction and prove me wrong. But hey,
I want to see Landon get triggered so badly, and I hope they go tilted because I have the utmost faith in King Richard and AIMBotCalvin with the way they've been playing. I mean, how many? What, like almost 14 individual kills for AIMBotCalvin during.
oh
that
yeah,
match.
he goes off.
Well,
without
King
question.
Richard goes off too. Now,
Well,
don't
yeah.
throw him under the gutter. I'm saying he's a great player.
I did not say that King Richard. Did
I
not
just
go
want to
off.
say, I just want to see tilted so
I
badly.
think Taylor's really trying to like diminish me
This
here.
tournament specifically, though, Calvin has been absolutely dominating every player that we've seen him come across to the point where he just gave that guy rockets at the end of that game and said, please try to kill me with these, and then murdered him midair.
And
with
gave him a chug
jetpack
jug,
on.
mind you, too.
He gave him a,
That's
he's
true.
like, here, hold this chug jug. I want you to be fully looted, so when I kill you, you're reminded that you're not as good as Calvin at that point. And I'm scared. It's a
Speaking
6-kill game.
He just talked about himself in the third person. You cannot kill Calvin, all right? I got rockets.
when one reaches a certain level, you speak to yourself in third person. That's just how it goes. That's the rule.
I
right?
am Aimbotcalvin, and I will be killing you in just a moment. Thank you.
Yeah, don't you guys ever talk to yourself in third person?
Hold my
All
chug
the
jug.
time.
all the time.
In the mirror.
Oh yeah, for
On the
certain.
phone, I have like 2 phones set up so I can hear myself from
You got
another
2
room that's
phones?
talking.
In the mirror. Now
One
your
for the plug
your
and-
girlfriend's in the other room. I have
Yeah.
to confirm this, by the way. I just want to know.
Just ask her. Just be like,
Does
"Hey,
she
you got
ever
2
just
phones?"
walk in? I am Legion, and I am great.
And she said that, and I was like, "Whoa!" Did you just quote that TV show from FX? And yeah. And then I said, "I'm Legion," and then it's like this whole weird thing where, yeah, I don't even play my games on my. It's her. I just talk.
That's it.
That's it.
It's been 5 years. Even before I knew her, she was doing it somehow. So
Wow.
witchcraft, a lot of it.
I am still waiting for this this audiobook with the lore of Legion's life.
I'm telling you, you write the
that's coming
audiobook, I'll be voicing over the audiobook. I'm telling you.
This is a time, and I believe anybody that's watching CouRage's stream actively right now, where you would hear a little
Pep talk?
speech right now
Uh-huh.
going into game 2, because this is everything on the line for him to potentially not only get in the money, but solidify himself as a top Friday Fortnite extraordinaire.
Now, quickly, do you think that goes in his bio? If he wins this
Oh,
tournament?
game over! It goes in his bio. I'd claim it. I get a tattoo. 4th or 3rd.
Third
whatever
place
across
Friday
the board.
Fortnite.
Not even a first place tattoo, just top 4 Friday Fortnite. That would be legendary if you got
That'd
a
be
top 4
amazing.
tattoo.
I mean,
Yeah.
top 4. I mean,
Oh, it's
hey,
respectable. Oh,
Yeah.
certainly.
especially for a tattoo.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
amazing.
Permanent.
Oh man.
You know what I'm saying?
All
Oh,
right,
boy.
guys. Well, hey, we got to go to a quick commercial break, but when we come back, this is going to solidify Ninja, King Richard, or Ninja and Courage. Are they going to move on, or is it going to be King Richard, AIMBOT, Calvin with a 6-point lead? We'll find out after this commercial break.